Hey folks, Test Patch came out a couple days ago, and there's some stuff relevant to the Veeshan's Pika key I noticed on there. That's the end zone for the next expansion for Oakwynd, which will be released on July 20th. The devs have been making an effort through the years to reduce the amount of time it takes to key a raid force in some of these older expansions, so that's very relevant for the time lock progression servers. Makes sense as they were originally designed for a year of gameplay, but now get compressed to 8 to 12 weeks. Since they're contested resources with everyone trying to get into the raid zones, a lot of these key camps have been historically some of the most toxic spots in the game. The VP key has always been one of the worst ones, with some horror stories out there about Pain Soul, Rotting Skeleton, etc. So it looks like they've made 3 changes here. First, the named spawns have more than one medallion. Second, other stuff in the zone will start dropping medallions. This is similar to the change they made a while back on Vexthal keys. And finally, for the 2 ground spawns, the timers are reduced. Let's hop on over to test and see what this means in practice. For the named, I went to Bloodgill Marauder in Lake of Omen, since that's a guaranteed spawn and I wouldn't need to camp a placeholder. There was someone already there, so I had to camp out, but when I came back later, it was spawned. It's a low-level mob, so it died pretty quickly. Here you can see it dropped 2 medallions, whereas it would normally only drop 1. I heard someone say they had 3 drop from a named, so there might be some variability. This would also probably interact with the increased loot that Oakwynd is going to have in Kunark, which is a 25% multiplier, so there might be some potential to hit that and have an extra medallion as well. If you look in the lore window as well, both of them were the bottom Jarsath, which is its normal medallion, so there's no randomization on the names, it seems. I AFK'd a bit for the next spawn, which came at the normal timer, and this one also dropped 2 medallions, so that all looks like it's working as it was described in the patch notes. For the next point in the patch notes, which is that the medallions also drop off trash in the zone and not only the names, I headed next door to FV and slaughtered all the drawvlogs and frogs, basically everything that I could find. I didn't run across the AJ, but what else is new? It didn't take too long to get a medallion, which you can see here only dropped 1, and was the middle Jarsath, which is the one that normally comes from the AJ itself. I assumed I was just lucky, so I kept killing stuff in the zone for a while. You can see from the timestamps it only took 5 minutes to get another. This toon is about level 100, so he's instantly deleting stuff, but it does seem to be a pretty high drop rate. I still think I was lucky here, but I'm gonna guess maybe 2 to 5% drop rate. This will need more testing to pin down. Okay, the last point in the patch notes is that the ground spawn timers are reduced. There was someone hanging around Swamp of No Hope, so I just went over to Kesora. The ground spawn, which is this glowing purple ball, is the key piece, and it was up when I got there. One trick if you're contested here is that you really want to scroll to first person to try to click on it. Anyway, I got that and reset the timer. Usually this piece takes about 50 minutes to respawn, but it showed up again in about 20 to 21 minutes. You'll notice it's in a different spot as it can spawn basically anywhere around this balcony. I also killed maybe 25 or so mobs on the way to the room and didn't see any medallions. Not enough to say for sure, but I'm going to guess the medallions weren't added to the drop tables for the zone trash for those 2. As a bonus test, I headed over to Sebalus to see what's up with the track tooth. This is the last part of the Veeshan's Peak key that you need. I slaughtered a lot of the upper floor and all the way through shrooms and jugs without seeing a tooth, so I'm guessing it's only the medallions that are added to the zone trash tables. And big yikes here, Trax only dropped 4 teeth, which I didn't even think was possible. If memory serves, the lowest I had ever seen was 6, and it's usually more like 8. So that's definitely going to be a roadblock. Folks are going to want to get their splits ready, I guess. So here's a summary of the changes. You'll see multiple medallions off the names. There's a non-trivial drop rate of medallions off the zone trash. Again, I'm guessing I was probably a bit lucky, so likely closer to the 2% that I've listed here than the 5%. The ground spawns are reduced to 20 to 21 minutes, And finally, it doesn't look like the situation for track teeth has improved any. So good luck out there, folks, when this goes live in July.